Welcome to IFRS. It's my privilege to welcome you on this IFRS online learning course. This powerful medium of internet and the powerful medium of video makes us to reach at every corner of the geography. India, world, we are now no limits. This powerful medium will provide us lots of opportunity to learn. What we are talking about is international financial reporting standards. Whenever any discussion comes across on this matter, the first question people raise is why IFRS? And here is Ram Mohan Bhave. Should I say from Mumbai? Very difficult because I have been traveling the globe. So this is Ram Mohan Bhave from Globe having a chat with you on IFRS. Have we heard about many things? Have we heard about Bollywood? What is common between Mahatma Gandhi and Bipasha Basu? When I ask this question, you all will start wondering, am I come for an online learning course for IFRS or something else? Very interesting. What did Mahatma Gandhi do? Mahatma Gandhi used to wear very less clothes. And so is the case with Bipasha Basu. So if I had to tell you a one-line answer, what is common between Mahatma Gandhi and Bipasha Basu? Both were wearing very less clothes. Am I going too much in a tangent? Let's bring it back to the line. Why did Mahatma Gandhi wear very less clothes? He was acclimatized by the whole world for making it transparent to the Britishers that time that India is poor and Indians don't have even clothes. So is Bipasha Basu, who says that I'm beautiful, and the best way to tell that is by wearing skimpy clothes. So both were transparent about the Indian poverty and the Indian beauty. Coming from that, let me put you to a riddle called what is common between Mahatma Gandhi, Bipasha Basu and IFRS? And now answer will be very simple for you. Transparency. Transparency of the financial statement is the goal of IFRS. We have been thinking, reading, talking about Clause 49, Sarbanes-Oxley Act. All over the world, now people are talking about the financial statements, how they should be transparent. If they are transparent, then and then only the corporate governance can be brought. Interesting. What is corporate governance? Basically, govern means handle in a proper way, handle it with propriety. So corporate governance can come in if there is a transparency of financial statements. How? Because if there is a transparency of financial statements, then the investors, the world, the regulators, the legal bodies, and the prospective investors can easily understand how are the financial statement, how is the financial situation of the particular corporate. Corporate health barometer can be shown only by the transparent financial statements. So here we come with IFRS. Why IFRS? IFRS now are being used in 180 countries. What are we talking about when we say IFRS? Is it not a very term which is talked a lot but understood very less? There are many accountants which we come across. They say, oh my God, after all, IFRS is the accounting. Now that's where we miss the major point. IFRS is not just accounting. IFRS talks about a financial reporting standard which brings in transparency, which has therefore a goal of corporate governance. Moving forward from that, we know that in every country, the country gap generally accepted accounting principles. In each country, people call it as AS. So there is a difference between AS and IAS. AS is the country gap, country accounting standards, whereas IAS is international accounting standards. There are many countries who don't have their own AS. Therefore, they adopt the IAS, that is International Accounting Standard, as it is. And a major revolution in the accounting world took place. We started in 2005 first time by bringing in IFRS. IFRS emanated from IAS, and today's definition of IFRS includes IAS. Why? The whole world nowadays talks about anything you manufacture, anything you prepare, anything you produce is who is the customer? And when that question came up for the International Accounting Standard Board, they said that why are we making accounting standards? We are making accounting standards because the accounts are to be prepared. Who wants accounts? The financial statement require accounts as a backup. Who wants financial statements? The shareholders, investors, prospective investors, regulators, everybody wants financial statements. So, do we need financial reporting standards or do we need accounting standards? And then it was clear that the customer needs financial reporting standards. Therefore, IFRS standards were created. There was a time when IAS were 41, 1 to 41. Many of you are, all of you practically are finance and accounting professionals. So 41 standards were brought down to 28. 13 standards were reduced. How? Some of them were deleted, being irrelevant. Some of them were duplicate. So therefore, they were thoroughly combined, and some of them were converted into IFRS. So as of today, we have valid 13 IFRS standards and 28 IAS standards. So in a way, when we study IFRS, IFRS plus IAS makes it 13 plus 28 back to 41. Alright. Now why IFRS? One line, transparency and corporate governance. How will that happen? Point number one, is the global flow of capital happening or is it happening in a restricted way? The answer is simple. Wherever there are lack of transparencies in the financial statements, the investors shun away from really getting into a flow of capital to that country. Do we allow a free flow of capital to the countries where the productivity is maximum? And that will be possible if the financial statements are transparent. And then the investors will put a premium for investing into that particular country, that particular corporates. So the corporates have to come up with financial statements which are understandable to the whole globe. Does the whole globe understand the financial statements? First of all, they have to be in the same language. Now, when I say language, I don't mean literally the language. I'm not talking about Chinese Mandarin and Indian Hindi and the British English and Spanish in America. I'm not talking about that. A software can take care of. We're talking about, do the financial statements prepared are on the principles which are unified. So unified set of accounting principles and financial reporting standards is something which IFRS brings into the table, and that's where the free flow of capital is possible. The free flow of capital makes the interest cost, the finance cost cheaper. It ensures that the financial reports which are prepared are useful to the investor, the prospecting investor, to understand transparently what is the financial health of that organization. What are the challenges for that organization? What is the potential for that organization? Coming forward from that, a transparency, corporate governance, the free flow of capital, the unified code, unified standard for all the accounts prepared in any country leads to mergers and acquisitions. So there are a lot of linkages to M&A, valuation, investor relations for IFRS. So therefore we are talking about why one should learn IFRS. because that is the road to the future. 180 countries already adopting, and the three countries where the world is looking with anxiety is USA, Japan and India. China already adopted in 2008 in almost substantively. Why do we need to expand our skills? Why do we need to expand our skills with IFRS? There are a lot to learn, and accountants actually who are going abroad or who are working in their own countries, can the accountant skill become a common skill all over the world? It will happen. Why? Because already IFRS is being used by 180 countries. So therefore, expanding of the skill for the accountants is completely a need of the time, and therefore you find that all of you have made the choice to join this course or joining this course. I would strongly recommend, can I become a country accountant or a country financial accounting person to a global financial accounting person? All right. What's the opportunity? Opportunity lies a lot. Opportunity lies a lot. We have been teaching in this for many years. In fact, in these many years, whatever people have progressed in these careers, in the best of the countries like Ireland, Canada, Gulf, USA, Australia, India, China, Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan. This gives us a great pleasure to tell you that whichever people have taken this great opportunity of IFRS have landed up into the great career opportunity. It's not only the opportunities in different countries. The more the person become globals, obviously the best talent will be available all over the world. And that's how the mobility of the talent happens, and it goes to the best or the highest levels as fast as possible. Let's talk about the career opportunities even at each country level. What are the opportunities in various countries? In every country, there are MNCs, multinational companies. Talking about India and Gulf, talking about US and Canada, talking about Europe and East Europe. Everybody is moving forward for the career growth. Wow. Just 5 years back, I was the chief finance director of Mittal Group, working in East Europe. And very amazing to find that in order to do the IFRS growth, the people from East Europe, Bulgaria, Serbia, Croatia, they were migrating towards the West Europe. Why? Because they learned IFRS and they got the growth in West Europe. The people from various countries moved to Canada just last year because Canada adopted IFRS on 1st January 2011. Let me tell you, just last week, 3 of our students moved to Nigeria. Nigeria adopted IFRS very recently. The movement towards the financial market to be able to read transparently the financial statement and analyze them in order that the investors are able to make a solid judgment out of that, or individual investors can be advised by the mutual funds or the equity by the advice by the equity research expert, is something becomes a need of the day. Therefore, how many financial services have entered into it? If I talk about the financial capital of India, Mumbai, there are a huge number of financial services available. Think of JP Morgan, think of Morgan Stanley, think of Tata Securities, think of Accenture, think of WNS, think of Deutsche Bank, and not far away, Delhi, Gurgaon has Royal Bank of Scotland, and then there are Bangalore and Chennai and Hyderabad. Huge number of knowledge process outsourcing centers have got created. And the world's accounts are getting outsourced in order to convert the accounts from country accounting standards to the IFRS standard. There is a huge demand for converting US accounts into IFRS, European accounts into IFRS, Indian accounts into IFRS. So who catches that great opportunity called outsourced accounts conversion into IFRS? This opportunity, I would say it is a superlative opportunity. Some of you, many of you are young, but some of you who have heard about a Y2K opportunity, I would say this is a much bigger opportunity than Y2K, because Y2K opportunity got over in a short time. Whereas IFRS opportunity is a continuous affair because whole world is now in the transformation mode. The M&As are happening, the transparency in the accounts are coming, and entity by entity, from listed companies to private companies to other entities, the things are moving forward. I would look forward to a day when, let me make one more terminology, IPSAS, IPSAS, International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Now, International Public Sector Accounting Standards have also now been in the lines of IFRS. What do we mean by IFRS when I say that? Again, I mean transparency. IPSAS are applicable to the government sector. IFRS is applicable to the non-government sector. Right now, IFRS is adopted by 180 countries and many countries are progressing towards IPSAS also. There will be a day when all of the accountants will be working on bringing in the transparency to the whole world's accounts. Would we be able to do the group consolidation? We are already doing it. Would we be able to do the state consolidation? Would we be able to do the country consolidation? Would we be able to do the globe consolidation? An interesting part to know. Financial measurements done in substance than in form is one of the big challenge to the current accountants. Why do the scams occur? How do the intangible assets are valued? How are the presentations made which can give a real picture, a fair view of the accounts, or does it mislead the investors? That's where IFRS plays a role. Through very tactful rules and regulations made, they have been able to bring the situation of transparency into the accounts. All right. Talk about consulting areas. When we talk about consulting, obviously, when I meet lots of youngsters and lots of even senior people, we come across the people when youngsters say, oh, I'm a chartered accountant of India. Oh, I'm a chartered accountant from Bangladesh. Oh, I'm a chartered accountant from Dubai. Oh, I'm a CPA from USA. Oh, I'm a ACCA from London. All of them ask a question, what is next for me in accounting? And currently they have a very big goal in front of them to understand IFRS in substance. What is IFRS in detail? We will be, of course, learning. But today we are talking about substance over form as a major key to the IFRS. And a globe is adopting that. So global versus country approach, substance versus form. What are the consulting opportunities? Oh, very simple. Start a KPO and start converting job for the overall globe. Or go to the MNCs and advise them on the IFRS provisions. Advise them on the typical situations which emanate from different types of industries. Take it mining, take it oil well industry, take for example shipyard industry, take for example infrastructure industry. These are all in boom and are huge monies are invested into that. Billions of dollars are being invested into infrastructure of various countries. China comes out with a train which goes in 3 minutes for around 300 kilometers distance. India comes out a huge budget on infrastructure. Now all these accounts need to be made transparently. Needs a great need of consultants comes into that.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the invitation to talk about the importance to Ford of a global financial reporting language, including associated challenges and opportunities. The team at Ford supports a single set of high-quality, understandable, enforceable, and globally accepted financial reporting standards based upon clearly articulated principles. We also endorse the adoption of IFRS as the most effective means of accomplishing this objective. At Ford, we operate within the global marketplace. We're finding an increasing need to be able to communicate in the financial language of IFRS. In fact, we're finding that U.S. GAAP is becoming less common as the global financial language to our suppliers, customers, and competitors. Furthermore, we're finding that the pool of resources outside the U.S. with U.S. GAAP knowledge is diminishing. As a result, we see substantial benefits from the adoption of IFRS. I think of the benefits as falling into 4 key areas. First is the elimination of barriers to global transactions and funding opportunities. As a global company, we routinely engage in cross-border strategic funding transactions. In the past, we've experienced added costs associated with taking advantage of certain global funding opportunities simply because of the complexity involved with producing separate financial statements for foreign affiliates under a universally accepted set of financial reporting standards. We believe the common platform provided by IFRS will enhance capital formation, reduce costs associated with cross-border funding, and allow us to compete more effectively in a global economy. The second area where we see benefit in moving to IFRS is the simplification of business operations. As a global company, we currently find ourselves having to comply with multiple country-specific gaps. This simply isn't efficient, and the efficiencies have become especially obvious as we engage in international business transactions that must be accounted for using multiple accounting methods for the same transaction. It's costly to maintain multiple versions of the same basic system to comply with these differences. We believe there is substantial opportunity to commonize our processes and systems and to reduce cost and complexity by moving to one common set of global reporting standards. The third benefit we see from adoption of IFRS is standardization of internal controls. Testing for appropriate internal controls under so many different sets of reporting standards drives complexity and cost. A common set of financial reporting standards would facilitate standardized and therefore stronger and more efficient internal controls. Finally, we believe that IFRS would enhance the ability to compare financial results across our industry, which obviously would benefit all stakeholders. Many of our competitors, including VW, Fiat, Peugeot, Renault, Daimler, and BMW, already report under IFRS. We believe the adoption of a universally accepted financial reporting language would be an important step toward a common platform allowing investors to more easily compare our financial results with those of the competition. Because we feel so strongly about the benefits of adopting IFRS, we've urged the SEC to announce this year a date certain by which U.S. registrants may voluntarily include IFRS-compliant financial statements in their SEC filings. We feel that the sooner this option is allowed, the sooner we and other companies will be able to realize the benefits I've described. To be ready to file IFRS-compliant financial statements as early as possible, we at Ford have committed resources to prepare for the transition. We realize that the change from U.S. GAAP to IFRS will be a fundamental business change affecting our accounting, processes, systems, and people. We've established a dedicated global IFRS implementation team to lead our efforts around the world to prepare for this adoption. This team includes subject matter experts in the fields of accounting, IT, and project management. While this central team has the lead, our efforts include active participation from stakeholders across a broad set of functions such as purchasing, legal, treasury, tax, and product development. This effort also includes Ford Credit. Additionally, we have regional project managers with their teams located in Asia Pacific, Africa, Europe, and South America who lead IFRS adoption efforts in their respective regions in full coordination with our central IFRS implementation team. I chair a monthly governance meeting at which we review our progress on IFRS implementation. The meeting attendees include our regional chief financial officers along with their teams and other key stakeholders. Ford's Board Audit Committee also is provided with regular updates of our IFRS progress. All of these efforts are a testament to the importance we at Ford associate with the adoption of IFRS. During the last few years, our efforts here at Ford have been guided by our One Ford plan. This single common vision has provided increased focus and unity to our efforts and substantial improvements in our operating results. The key tenets of One Ford are one team, one plan, one goal. We see the adoption of IFRS as being very consistent with our One Ford vision.
Where are we coming from now? There is a solid one qualification available as far as the IFRS is concerned. What is that qualification? This is a great qualification coming up from ACCA London. And this global qualification is valid across 180 countries. Obviously, question starts coming up. Oh, I am from this country. Last week, somebody from Nepal called me up. Can I give an exam in Kathmandu? Yes, certainly you can. Oh, I am from Chennai. Can I go? Yes. Am I from Bangalore? Can I do? Yes. So there are 580 cities in the world and 180 countries in the world which are offering this one solid exam on how to do IFRS conversions, how to learn IFRS application principles thoroughly. Going forward from that, in India, this exam is available in 9 cities. The list of the cities is given in our website. You can go through any time. The links are being provided. But to quickly speak, 4 metros, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, they are known to be 3 IT cities of India. And then Ahmedabad and Cochin. So I've given you the list of 9 centers from which you can give the exam in India itself. And every country there are people who are giving this exam. We strongly recommend you this qualification to become IFRS champions. It has a strong linkage. I mean, in fact, the other day, somebody asked me, can I work on M&A because of IFRS? Certainly, yes. Why? M&A requires valuations. Why? Because if you want to acquire an organization, you must know the value of that. Enough of seriousness. How do we value a lot of things? International valuation standards. Do we have actuaries? Do we have certified valuers? Yes, certainly one should have. But going forward for that, doing the valuation is one part, but knowing the principles of valuation, knowing the fair value principles which are inbuilt into the IFRS, especially the IFRS 13 which has come up recently, that's a big thing one should know. Are we saying that IFRS is the backbone of valuation and M&A? Certainly yes. In fact, my own practicing firm on IFRS consulting, IFRS conversion and mergers, acquisitions and valuations tells you the experience that recently we had a acquisition of a Polish company, Poland company by a very small Indian company. Even the Poland company was medium size, Indian company was also medium size, and both did the merger together by submitting each other the IFRS accounts. And there the valuation base was decided based on the IFRS principles. Investor relationships. Today, investors corner the chairman or MD or the CFO and ask him odd questions. But they don't know that there are many, many hidden things which are in the notes on accounts. Some investor relation managers are smart enough to tackle those questions. Some analysts are able to corner them. So it is a job for business analysts and investor relation managers to understand IFRS thoroughly if they have to understand the transparency in the financial accounts. Can I give them some different names and tackle them? No. We have IFRS which brings it into a standardized level or what it should show. Certification. What is certification in IFRS? The best way to get yourself certified in IFRS is Diploma in IFRS from ACCA London. What is this exam? What is this exam? Who conducts it? What is the eligibility? Let's discuss those questions in detail. Why are we discussing all these questions? Because I would like everybody to strive for transparency and corporate governance. We would like, and I'm sure all of you will like, that the words capital flow happens to the best productive places. And that can happen if the risk in the financial statements are less. Therefore, investors are attracted to invest. It's conducted by ACCA London. The eligibility, damn simple. Any chartered accountant, I'm talking in the context of India, but most of the accountants in the world are eligible to appear directly for this exam. Company secretaries in India can apply directly. The cost and management accountants, ICWS, that is the traditional name, ICWS or CMA is what we call it, are eligible to appear directly. And in case of others, any commerce graduate with a 2 years finance or accounting experience is eligible to appear there. Any other graduate is also eligible to appear because a lot of MBAs come to me. They are BSc MBAs, engineer MBAs, but done MBA in finance. MBAs with finance or even undergraduates, they can do with 3 years experience in finance or accounting. They are eligible to. Now a lot of young CAs come to me and they ask me, oh my God, I am yet to pass CA, then I will join somewhere and I'll get a experience. Don't worry. You already a BCom and your articleship is happening in finance and accounts. Articleship 2 years experience will be counted as experience. Alright. So this makes it very easy for anybody to take up this exam and go to the journey of IFRS transparency. When is the exam? $1 million question. Exam is just twice in a year. June second week, December second week. So now You can imagine, while I'm recording this in April 13, the first exam coming up now is June and the next one is in December 2013. Well, is this exam has a huge value? Is it a too tough exam? Honestly, it is neither too tough nor too easy. The world result had been 34%. India result had been also 34%. Well, I must take a pride and say that our training course had a result of minimum 83%. Last time we had a result of 90%. Why? Because this online is reaching to everybody. Having this result told to you, I must tell you good news. There is just one paper. One paper. Now, is one paper sufficient to understand your skills? Well, that paper is not an easy cakewalk. One has to understand IFRS application of principles completely and thoroughly. One has to understand how to convert the accounts into IFRS. This is a 100 marks paper for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Passing is at 50 marks. When the passing is at 50 marks and 100 marks is the passing, 100 marks is the total marks, you have a good chance to understand and apply the principles and get through this exam. What do we teach in these trainings? But we teach you not only how to pass this exam, that's a pariksharthi role, that's an examinee's role, so a student's role. But going forward, we teach how do we convert the IFRS practically. We teach what are the latest case studies happening. Have we understood about Suzlon Energy? Have we understood about Adani Power? Have we understood about Wockhardt? Have we seen the international acquisition of Daiichi acquiring Ranbaxy from India? And we know Xerox and Enron also from America, which needed transparency. What happened to the HDFC's insurance corporation? What happened to Adidas impairment case? What happened to Satyam Shivam's Satyam? You know, famously Satyam deal in India. These are all the cases which lack transparency and which got unfolded. Today, both Comptroller and Auditor General of India and CBI are coming up with various issues which are nothing but intangible assets valuations. Talk about spectrum, talk about water issues, talk about Panchamahabhutas. All these are very well tackled by the fair value principles of IFRS. And that's where the application of principles of IFRS is very much necessary for a student to learn in those, shall I say, 3 to 6 months. You will be getting a 80 to 100 hours program. Study that well. We'll have a weekly engagement once in a week. In that, we can have a situation where a knowledge about IFRS is completely imparted to you. And that too in a fashion which will make you understand very easily, very simply.